I saw a string of retracted messages. Only one remained. Your father's memorial is the day after tomorrow. Will you come? The message triggered a night of relentless nightmares, replaying the events that had destroyed my life. Caleb had been suddenly diagnosed with leukemia. He needed a bone marrow transplant, and I was the only match. But my own health was poor at the time, and I was undergoing treatment. I refused. I was ready to give up everything, to leave the Hawk family and never look back. The night before I was set to leave, Eleanor sat me down for a talk. She reminisced about my childhood, how I was a messy little boy, and she had dreamed of raising a perfect prince. How for her birthday, I had dressed up in a flamboyant suit to make her happy, only to be scolded for being too ostentatious. How I'd cried in the middle of the night, telling her, I just wanted to make you happy, Mommy. How in elementary school, I'd overheard other parents mocking her for being a bad mother because of my poor grades, and I'd studied relentlessly to get a perfect score, losing so much weight in the process that my chin was sharp against her shoulder. It hurts my shoulder, she'd said, but it hurts my heart more. She looked at me with a misty, nostalgic gaze. Julian, do you still love your mother like you did when you were a little boy? Of course, I'd answered. But Mom, do you still love me? Of course. If only I had seen the flicker of evasion in her eyes through the dim light. If only I hadn't taken that glass of water she drugged. I collapsed into her arms. I remember her soft fingers on my cheek, gently wiping away a tear. But when I woke up, it was to an ice-cold reality. My own mother had drugged me so they could take my bone marrow for Caleb. The procedure left me bedridden and weak for months. Lying alone in that sterile hospital room, I had only one thought: revenge. To hell with her. From that day on, she was no longer my mother. She was just that woman. I stormed back to the Hawk estate, weak and shivering in a thin hospital gown. They were celebrating Caleb's birthday. I took a baseball bat and demolished the entire ground floor of the mansion. If security hadn't stopped me, I would have caved their heads in. I screamed until my throat was raw, the rage in my eyes making that woman shrink back in fear, right into Caleb's waiting arms. Their solution was to have me committed to a psychiatric hospital. If my father hadn't returned, when he did, I would have ended up either a mindless vegetable or a corpse. He returned with the truth. The leukemia, the transplant, it was all a lie. A scheme cooked up by Caleb. His real target was my fiancée. My engagement to Isabella Vance had been arranged since we were children. The Vance family's new energy enterprise had made them far more powerful than the Hawks. No matter how hard that woman tried to push Caleb into high society, she could never find him a better match. So, Caleb had been secretly corresponding with Isabella for months, and I had worked tirelessly to earn the approval of Isabella's parents, finally securing my place in their family. Now, with the truth revealed, that woman just held Caleb and wept. In that case, she declared, Caleb should marry Isabella. What else can we do? We can't lose our connection to the Vance